Noninkables. Hello, welcome to Noninkables. I guess this is technically episode 27 of the podcast. I thought of making it like a special edition episode, but I figured it's easier to make it a new episode of the podcast. So this will be a recap of days 1.5, I guess, of Gen Con. So we got in yesterday, Wednesday, checked into our hotel, stood in line to get our badges. We had dinner first and then waited in line for the badges because last year Brian remembered that it was like super busy earlier in the day, and then like the later it got, the more cleared out it got. And I think we went around like 10:30 and there was still a line, but at least it didn't go outside. So we went and got badges, and then the next thing we did was return a bunch of tickets. So Gen Con is weird where like you have paper tickets for some events and electronic tickets for other events. And if it's electronic, you can return them like in the website. But if they're paper and they've already been printed, like past a certain date, you can only return them in person. So we went and returned a bunch because we realized that probably was a little too ambitious in terms of what I signed us up for. And so like Brian returned Triple Deck, all the Triple Deck Constructeds, because he decided he didn't want to play them, so he didn't bring decks for them. And then we also returned Speed Puzzling, because we weren't going to do that. And then I returned my Zumba ticket because I didn't even bring sneakers. And I also returned my burlesque dancing because I was like, I probably will miss that and don't really care that much. So today for our schedule, first thing we did was play in the Collector's Quest. So essentially when you walk in, they give you a sheet of paper and it has, I think, 6 cards that you need to get. And then everyone has a different one, although there's definitely repeats. I think there's maybe a total of 5 or 6 distinct ones. And then everybody gets 5 packs, and you open your packs and you try to trade with people to get the cards that you need. My set was pretty easy. It was like all Beauty and the Beast themed cards, and they were all commons and uncommons. There was like one sheet that had like the rare green Goofy, or not Goofy, Genie, and then there was another one that had the rare red Captain Hook. I feel like that was very hard. And then in the end, I ended up finding someone else with the same sheet, and like we both had some of the cards, and I was like, hey, can I just borrow your Gaston so I can get my promo, and then I will come back and you can have whatever cards you need. And she agreed to that, so then we did that, and I think Brian did that the same. And then for participation, you get Pluto. How do I make it in focus? Just won't be in focus? Okay. And then once you get all your cards, you get the Anna. And surprisingly, we had a total of 60 people, because it was a first chapter one, and not one enchanted was pulled. And then after that, so that was at 10. After that started, then we went to play Riftbound, which is a new game by Riot Games. It's League of Legends based, which I have not played. But we signed up for a Learn to Play, so it was free. And we actually signed up for a 1v1 and a free-for-all 4-person one. So we did the 1v1 first. Brian and I played against each other. And I played a deck that had this guy. I don't even know any of the characters, but Yasuo. And then he played a deck that had, it's not one of the starter decks we got, so I don't know. It was like a 10 cost thing. And we played like 2.5 games. I won both game 1 and 2, but I think because my deck had some like bouncy stuff that like seemed kind of simple to me, whereas his was like more of a ramp deck. Then like he could only ramp to 12 because that's how many that were in the rune deck. So yeah, but I think if we played a third game, he probably would have won, because by then he figured out how to play the deck. And then when you leave, they give you a little pack of, it has 1 promo card. So this one, the Ari, I guess is her name. I don't know, the hot cat, Kid Cat. And then you get 2 starter decks. So we got Zuo and Victor, and then the other 2 we got were Yasuo and Jinx. So 4 starter decks total. And then they stamp your badge, like they hole punch it with R so that you can only get 1. They hole punch it with an R so you can only get 1, because I had asked, like, if we played in the free-for-all 4-people one, if we would get if we could get more promos, and they said. So then we did not play in the 4-people one that we had signed up for. So we took that time to, what did we do? We went to, I think we went, oh, I wanted to check Neopets because so Neopets I played last year, and so far I've gotten no one to play with me. But this year they released like a 25th anniversary box that has like very cute dice and sleeves, and I think also maybe a playmat. And so I went there, and then they said that if I buy it tomorrow, I would get a free promo. So I'm going to go stand in line tomorrow to get the promo. So then after that, we dropped some stuff off at the room, and then we went back to play in Lorcana. So for the Lorcana stuff, if you go 3-0, then you win the play match, which is what I'm trying to get. So far unsuccessful, spoiler alert. If you go 2-1, you get the promo card, which is a Rapunzel, which I did get. And then each round there is a pack for participation and a pack if you win the round. So let me just show you first if I can find it. Okay, you also get the Pluto for participation. So same Pluto for participation, and then the promo that you get if you go 2-1 is this Rapunzel Gifted Artist. So first we played in a core constructed, and let's see, first game I played a RB mirror, so I had to play on the draw both times. I won both times. The first game it was 20-11. When it was at 11, I was at 8, so pretty equal. And then I was able to do red-blue things. And then the second game, I was on the draw again. And he got all the way up to 18, and I was at 6. And then I was able to claw my way back a little bit. So I got to 13. He was at 16. And then I think he Pirates Life me. He went to 18. I went to 11. And then I Pirates Lifed him. So he went to 16. And I did the Maui Shark stuff, went to 15. And I ended up winning, and I only had 2 cards left in my deck. I had a Maui out, I played a Develop, took another Develop, played a Sail, and then I think had another Develop or something, or played a Visions. No, I think I played, okay, hold on. I think I played a Sail, and then a Vision, and then another Vision into Develop, and won with 2 cards left in my deck. The second round, I played against Cece, who was playing Amber Steel, and I feel like teched against Red-Blue because she was playing the Minnie Mouse Musketeer that has World's Greatest Criminal Mind built in, so basically can banish a character with 5 strength or more, which banished all of my sharks. And she also played Bare Necessity. And the first game, I think I only got to 9 lore before she won. And the second game, first game I was on the draw. Second game I was on the play, and I got milled. I ran out of cards, so I lost. And then the third game I played against Kat, who was also playing Amber Steel, but one that was like teched less against Red Blue specifically. It was just like a regular Amber Steel song. And I was able to win on the play. Good thing I was on the play the first game because I missed 2-turn ramp, which was kind of hairy. So she got to 11, I was at 1. And then we were both at 9. And then I slowly got there. And then the second game I was on the draw, and she got to 8, and then 11, and then 12, and then I was at 3. And then I Pirates Lifed her, and then kind of clawed my way back and got to 20. And then, so that one I got a Rapunzel card because I went 2-1. And then after that, we played in Arcasia Island Seal. Also went 2-1 in that one. Actually, no, I went 1-2 in that one. I lost my last round. So first one I played against Chance. Oh, I forgot. In the core, I played against somebody from Rules of Villain. So I played against Chase, who's from Rules of Villainy, and he gave me, look at this sticker, it's so cute. Dragon is cute. And so we traded stickers, and then somebody overheard us talking and asked me for a sticker later. Oh, and then, okay. And then Sealed. So Sealed, while we were making our decks, I had a very awkward encounter because I made it awkward. So DKP came over to say hi, and he was like, hi. And then I looked up, kind of said hi, and then looked back down because I was like, in my head, I was like, there's no way he knows who I am and would come over to talk to me, even though he has commented on one of my videos before. And he was still standing there. So then I looked back up, and he said hi again. And I was like, oh, hi, you're talking to me. In my head, I'm like, oh my God, you're talking to me. I just made this so awkward. And he was like, "Oh, hey, like Ed said that you really enjoy my deck." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's been great. I've won 3 set championships with it. I love it." And then so we did a little small talk and he wished me well on my sealed. And then they left. He left. And then I like made my sealed deck. And then afterwards I went and took a picture with both him and Ed because they were playing, I think, each other just for fun. I'll put a picture. Totally fangirled out. And it was funny because after that, there were like 2 little kids who were in the sealed. And then they were like, "Oh my gosh, it's Ed and DKP." And then like one of the ladies they were drafting against was like an older lady. She was like, "Who's that?" And they're like, "Oh, just number 1 and 2 in the world." And then I think one of the brothers went over and had Ed sign his Be Prepareds and stuff. It was really cute. And then like more people went and said hi. Yeah. So they're basically famous people. And I made our encounter so awkward because I was like, there's no way DKP knows who I am and like would come up to say hi to me. It turns out I was wrong. It's gonna try to be less awkward in the future. Sorry. DKP, if you're watching this, sorry I made it awkward. Yeah. Anyways, so then for sealed, first game I played against Chance. First game I was on the draw and I got to 1 lore. Second game I was on the play and I got to 8. His deck was insane. And I think he played against Brian the next round and Brian also lost to him. My sealed deck, I mean, partly I made my sealed deck not very good. I didn't have very good cards. Like, almost everything was a 4-drop and below. And then I had a silly idea to try to do a little bit of like items nonsense. So I played like Ruby Coil, Unconventional Tool, and Maurice's Workshop because I also had the Maurice and the Bell, and also the Cogsworth that gets strength with there's an item in your discard. That combo never really popped off. I mean, I did do the Bell thing once, but I never got to like Maurice's Workshop to draw a card and banish a character or return a character, whatever the card does. I didn't get to do that. And like I had some evasives. I had like the Diablo 1/2 Challenger. I had Perla, the support. I had Yago, but I only saw him in 1 game. And I just didn't have very many big things. I didn't have anything with Rush. Everything was like a baby. And so first round I lost. Second round my opponent didn't show up. So I took that time to return some more tickets, specifically our Foxtrot ticket that was supposed to be for tonight, but it would have been at the same, like we wouldn't have finished sealed by then. And then the third round, oh, I forgot his name. I didn't write it down. But the first game I was on the draw and I lost 12 to 20. Second game I was on the play and I won 20 to 10. And then third game I was on the draw. We went to turns, but then I would have lost anyways. I lost because I had less lore, but also if he had another turn, he would have won anyways. So I was like, you can take it. But I was put like Queen of Hearts in my deck, which was dumb in the end. Also because he had Amethyst Coil. So Queen of Hearts is like anytime a character's played, you deal a damage to it, right? Because I should have taken off items and committed more to like the damage stuff because I also had like 2 Wake Up Alices that I didn't put in the deck, which I should have, instead of the stupid items. And then he had Amethyst Coil, which every time you ink, you can move a damage from one thing to another thing. So that's how he kind of got rid of my Perla and also my Snow White. It can't be challenged. So yeah, I learned from that sealed. And then that's it for now. I think Brian right now is playing in a Gundam, which I didn't go. I ended up returning those tickets like a long time ago because I was like, actually, I don't really want to play Gundam. But I think the promo cards are worth some money, so maybe I'll sign up for something later if it's not sold out. We'll see. And then tomorrow we were going to learn to play Root, but we ended up returning that ticket. So I'm probably going to go stand in line to buy my Neopet stuff, my anniversary gift box, and then probably we have like a good, I think, 3 hours between our 9 o'clock Collector's Quest and our like first Lorcana event. I forgot what it is. I think it's maybe a core constructed. It might be a triple deck. It might be starter deck chaos. I'm not sure. But we have time. And so I think we're going to use that time to go shopping and buy stuff because I did bring a suitcase, a small carry-on suitcase within a larger suitcase. So I have plenty of room to buy stuff. It's probably going to go shopping. I don't know what we need, but we have the room this time. So it'll be a free-for-all. So I think that is it. So the haul today mainly is like the Riftbound promo stuff and then a couple promo cards for Lorcana. The packs I pulled had pretty much nothing good. The first chapter packs from this morning, the two good cards were a B Prep and a Let It Go. And I guess technically we got a legendary beast, but it's not that playable. And then in the afternoon, our packs were pretty bad as well. Yeah, I would say pretty bad. No good cards. So hopefully the polls tomorrow will be better. Hopefully I'll be less awkward. Ooh, what else? We also saw Enchanted Kim today, and she had these very cool Ursula sleeves. Ooh, that's something else I want to get tomorrow. Is the Ursula's Return sleeves. They look very pretty. They're very holographic and they're hot pink on the insides. I'm definitely going to buy some of those. Also, because there's a promo, the Goofy promo, you can only get from buying stuff. So we'll have to do that. And oh, we did try to watch the streamed like second anniversary event while we were in the Collector's Quest, but it was obviously not working because the stream was all like glitchy. And so we've been getting updates at the same speed everyone else has. That's not even here. But it was cool because we had a bunch of locals here. So DKP Ed, I guess DKP is not a local. Ed, Judy and Edmund are here. Caroline and Tim and Louie and oh, he told me his name twice and I forgot it again. I'm gonna have to write it down. But I met him in Seattle. What is his name? I'm gonna guess John, just because it's a common name. But I'm gonna ask and we'll figure it out. I will let you guys know tomorrow. So cool meeting people we already know. Cool meeting new people. That's it. More stuff tomorrow. If you want like up-to-date updates, I guess, Instagram is where I'm posting all our stuff. So yeah, all right, that's it. I'll post a picture of our Lorcana haul, I guess, at the end of this. And that's it. As always, keep shuffling. Hopefully you don't end up with a whole handful of Noninkables like and bye. All right.